This is a fight between Veron and Ace on April 11th, 2025 practice. We're going to watch it all the way through and then break it down frame by frame.
That was good. That was really good, Elijah. You didn't back up. You did a good job.
He wasn't doing his scary press earlier.
Yeah. Nice shot. Very good.
Okay, that was it. A solid showing from both of them, kind of what I would expect from whenever these two kind of line up against each other. So first things first, as we kind of get into the fight itself, both of them are fairly relaxed as they get going. I also notice that when you start out, these guys are starting very much in range of each other. There's not a lot of gaps. As we analyze their initial stance, we can see that Ace is operating very much based off of his death stick, putting that forward and keeping his sword back here in a refused stance. Well, let's see. Yes, for a refused stance. He's got his sword in his left, so it's a reverse for most, but it is refused because his sword is pulled back with his back leg instead of leading, versus Veron, who is leading very much with this sword and dagger combo. It's very Capoferro-esque, which puts his sword up front and center, as well as his dagger right here to defend himself. He's not too worried about his legs at the moment because his sword kind of keeps anything at bay. And so from what I'd say is here, again, Ace here is predominantly defense and Veron is offense at the moment, although they've both solidified themselves defensively. So we'll see how kind of their first few actions lead up to it. So as we get going on, you can see that Ace is still leading very much with the death stick. Veron is leaning back, keeping his body well behind his blades, defending himself there in case Ace decides to lunge. He's dropped his sword down to maybe potentially draw the death stick away, find an opening. He's not giving the death stick too much attention, but Ace is doing well to kind of prepare for the main threat, which is Veron's sword with that death stick. So now we're getting some footwork. And here's where I think you can see the power of not paying attention to the death stick. So again, we have this death stick here, which is the main thing keeping Veron back and at bay. But the reality is that death stick can't actually do anything. It's not a threat. And Ace's sword is way down here. It's an inch off the ground even. And so as Veron watches Ace move his sword, move his death stick around, you can see that Ace is actually very open way up here, and in order to get his sword up, it's going to take time. And sure, the death stick is there to defend, but I think Veron is hoping that he can bypass the death stick or along the same line there with a solid strike, pulls him out. But Ace does just the right thing with his death stick, pulls back, goes into a classic 4-block, retreats. No harm, no foul, no real danger there from that strike, but with good reaction time, I think Ace prepared for it. And right back to where we were before, so it possibly could be a probe from Veron, seeing what is Ace's reaction to these kind of things. Okay, now we've got a little bit of a crossroads here. Veron comes up a little bit. He's not going for a full strike, but Ace is bringing his sword up to potentially see it. Again, maybe it's a feint, maybe it's there. But this is where I think, okay, let's imagine what's happening here. Veron's imagining, hey, we've got Ace's foot down here real low. He's coming closer. It's a really prime target. And there it is. He's going for that solid foot whose Ace is just kind of give it to him. But luckily, Ace has brought his sword up into striking position, so Veron can't fully commit. And you can actually see, let's see, right there, how close Ace Ace is getting in. He's gotten all the way through Veron's defense because Veron has committed to that foot strike. His dagger is taking the time, but Ace's speed is beating the dagger. The difference is the fact that Ace is in refuse stance, where his sword is coming from his back. You know, it was further back than his lead there, minimized the range that he had. And so if he had been in a forward stance, he might have been able to get it, but being in that refuse was more defensive, really let Veron kind of get away with it. And luckily Veron had the sense of mind not to leap into the strike any further. So backs up, and now we're getting back into an exchange again. As Ace is retreating, Veron sees a moment to return, strikes forward, and you can see that he leads with the strike. It's captured by the death stick. Ace's sword is coming in, and Veron's dagger is coming down to capture it, defend himself. It's there, and now Veron's footwork, you know, he's up and moving, and the reality is Ace's blade is right here. The only way forward is to come this way, and luckily the death stick is there, so it's not as threatening, so it's still technically open space. And by having the dagger here, he's essentially put his dagger between him and Ace's blade, which gives him an opportunity. Now the question is whether or not Ace is going to respond. There, he's taken the sword down low. We're seeing some open space to continue. Ace is on the retreat. I think Ace is doing a really well to keep his death stick engaged, but the problem is, again, this is not a threat. This is a defensive tool. Veron's coming in, and I think what's happening is just Ace has pulled his sword all the way back behind his body. It's completely out of the fight. So really it's just Veron with a dagger and a sword, and Ace with a stick moving in, and you can see Veron's coming in. Ace has captured it with the death stick, but the dagger comes in right here, right there, stretching it out, and Ace's sword is still way back here. So it moves in, and you can actually see that Veron has landed the strike, and Ace's sword is coming in, but you can watch as Veron backs up. He's using his body to stretch backwards, keeping him out of range, and with that refuse stance on the opposite side, Ace just doesn't have the range to land that shot, and Veron gets the kill. So really solid exchange between the two of them.